has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's pain-free Friday. Ferrall's doling out minutes on the mahogany, waxing it up. 100, 200, 300, 400 a nickel. The bad seed, the burgundy, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up should do bad. Hey, it's your boy Uncle Futrelli along with the Tater and Tutty King himself, the founder of the Isle Seed podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and the Put It With a Golf guru, Carver High this afternoon, ladies. Mafia's running it along with Luke. I am your father. The rundown today, we got a double shot with Morency from British Columbia within this very hour, and then in the second hour, look who it is. Elvis will be in the building. Denny Bernstein from the fourth period in Sirius XM NHL radio to talk Stanley Cup playoffs. And then in the final hour of love, the coup de grace, our friend Andy Baskin from the Fan in Cleveland and Bill Bender from the Sporting News. I'm sure he'll be talking about some of these college players about to be drafted into the NFL. Well, it's all evolving. We've got Brian Daboll at Wrigley Field, a sellout on the north side, and it's 2-0 Cubbies. I know you've got RBC scores from Hilton Head for me. We got play-in games tonight. We got NBA all day tomorrow. We got Stanley Cup, a deuce tomorrow in the playoffs. Are you kidding me?
Indeed. Happy Friday. Big weekend ahead. No question about that. There's a lot going on. Yes, 2-0 Cubs lead off of a Carson Kelly 2-run home run back in the second inning, bottom of the third here. This was a very heavy total today because the winds are blowing out at Wrigley. Of course, this is the one ballpark where the winds have the most effect. So the total was 11.5, enormous total. And people expected tons of homers today. The odds were ridiculous for some of these guys. So far, only one, and that's Carson Kelly with the 2-0 Cubby lead. They are playing down at Hilton Head, Harbortown Lynx for round 2 of the RBC. Justin Thomas, after the 10-under 61 yesterday, only 1 under through 6 today. Having a little bit of a harder time. Conditions getting a little stiffer down at the RBC. He still has the lead, though, at 11 under. Andrew Novocaine at 9 under. He's done for the day. Siwoo Kim, Russell Henley, all at 9 under as well. Scotty Scheffler lurking at 8 under. And then a host of others in the 7s, including Morikawa, Harmon, the Postman rings twice, Wyndham the Butler Clark, Maverick McNeely, Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Wyndham Hotels and the Postman.
Wyndham Hotels. So a lot of guys within 3 to 5 shots of the lead at the RBC. I said yesterday that Thomas would he'd let everybody come back after tying a course record yesterday, and sure enough, he's doing that so far today. All right, yes, tonight we have play-in games on the menu. There are going to be 8 game ones in the NBA this weekend, 4 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday, and to find out those last 2 on Sunday, we need to get through tonight first. Miami will be in Atlanta against the Hawks. The winner of that game will play the Cavs in a game 1 on Sunday. And then the Mavericks will be in Memphis against the Grizz in the late night game. Winner will head to OKC to see the Thunder for game 1 on Sunday. So almost through the play-in, and then a couple of quadruple headers through the weekend.
Well, first of all, I want to say that I don't know if Atlanta can play any worse than they did, right? I thought they looked awful in the first 7-8 game, and now they go home to Atlanta, and they play at State Farm tonight. Do you think they could look any worse than they did the other night? I mean, the other night it was kaput city, and then they were, getting Ice Tray thrown out of the game with the double tag, disrespecting the refs, kicking balls, the whole deal. They can't possibly be that bad again tonight, can they? Because, look, I thought Miami looked fantastic on Wednesday night in that 9-10 game in Chicago.
I agree. I don't think they could look any worse than they did against Orlando earlier this week. But, I think that sometimes you just got to, in a game like this, maybe shade to the team that's a little bit better defensively, right? And that's going to be the Heat. The Heat are going to be the team that's probably a little bit more stout on the defensive side. The one thing about Atlanta, I was looking at the numbers last night. 100, they score a lot of points. But if you keep them under like a $120, $115, they never win. And I think that the Heat are going to be able to keep them under those numbers tonight. So I expect the Heat to take care of business in Atlanta. And I think the second game hopefully is going to be better. And I think it's way too much gas with Dallas. I mean, 6.5's a lot.
Why the hell do you think it's so big?
I think it's just because of Memphis being at home, and I don't think people really believe the Dallas performance from the other night. I don't think they think they'll get.
How many games has Memphis played well in the last month besides about 2? How could they be favored by 6 and a hook yesterday when we did this show? I almost fell over.
And then you also factor in that, Ja got hurt the other night. I know he's going to play, but, Ja getting hurt too. Now it's down to 5.5 this afternoon. So it's come down a point. 6.5 yesterday, 5.5 today. I still 5.5 taking the Mavericks. I'm still going to be in on the Mavs at 5.5 tonight. I think we'll get a good AD game, and I think that Clay, he kind of popped off the other night. I think we can continue that. So I think they can hang in it.
One of the things you got to remember is that they went on, both of these teams went on the road and looked good doing it. Like they weren't fazed by being in Chicago. They weren't fazed by being in Sacramento. And, since Sacramento got whacked, they chopped their GM. They've had, exit interviews that have been alarming, listening to players say, nobody knows what's going on around here. Sabonis said it. DeRozan said it. We'd like to know what's happening. Who's making the decisions? We told you yesterday it'd be Scott Perry. And that these guys that make all this money, they want, it's no different than LeBron, Durant, these guys with juice in the league. You can't tell me Sabonis doesn't have juice on that team, frankly, or DeRozan or Levine, that you can just do whatever you want behind their back and fire people and trade people and never tell them. You're going to make some of those superstars very uneasy and very unhappy about the way they're handling their business up there. They're a mess. But like Dallas went in there and kicked their ass. Miami went in and to Chicago, and every year they own them, and they did it again. So I am not fazed by them being on the road tonight whatsoever.
I'm not fazed by them being on the road either. And it kind of a similar thing. There's defense. I think Dallas with AD and their bigs probably a little bit better.
For the Great Barrier Thief.
Great Barrier Thief, of course, will be with Atlanta tonight. So we've got that. We'll go through all the games for the NBA this weekend, all the game ones, previews for that, and the start of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Everybody
all the game
loves
ones
hockey.
there, with only 2 games tomorrow and then 3 games Sunday, and they really start to get rolling in the quest for Lord Stanley, which does.
We got your boy Elvis on today talking pucks too. Are you kidding me?
Elvis in the building.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play, and players win.
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so, for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question: with catchers in fantasy baseball, and sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues, why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You gonna buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2-catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. No. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I would probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. Watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday, because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felipe at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 East on all of our TV and radio outlets. I just told a horrific story, and Morency was stunned at what he was listening to. He's in Vancouver right now. He has very little reaction to some of the things that he just heard. You can see his face. He looks perplexed.
It takes a lot to stun me, Scott. Takes a lot to stun me.
I thought that was a good story, didn't you? I mean, not bad. I mean, for a Friday.
The part that I heard, very good.
All right, so tonight we got a pair of games in the NBA, Morency, and then I want to talk about this weekend's Stanley Cup. It starts tomorrow with a pair of games, but tonight we got 2 8 games. The winners go in as the 8th seed in the NBA. You got Miami, Atlanta. You got Dallas with a big game tonight on the road in Memphis at the FedEx. What do you think is going to happen in these 2 ball games?
I really like the Miami Heat tonight, Scott, against this Atlanta Hawk team. The Hawks can score points in a regular season game, but when somebody actually clamps down on them, they're a one-man operation, all right? They just don't have the pop. Miami are a much better defensive team. Miami have players, Scott, that have been in the NBA Finals before. They have arguably the best coach in the league, and Eric Spoelstra. And I think, and I was guilty of it a bit too, Scott, like after they traded Jimmy Butler and all the criticism about the Heat culture and players criticizing Pat Riley and poor Eric Spoelstra is even getting a divorce, Scott, this year. So like nothing. Whoa. Yeah. They just broke up, and there was a rumor, and his wife, actually, his ex-wife, did a video and said, it's not true, and you guys are crazy, but that she was sleeping with players, and so it's like this whole. It hasn't been a good year for the Miami Heat, right? Like they've dealt with. There's normally, Scott. Normally, they're one of the more solid organizations in sports, right? And it's been a chaotic year for them on and off the court with Butler, with personal problems, with people questioning Riley now at his age. With all that being stated, bro, all right, you lose Jimmy Butler. And I know Jimmy Butler, Scott, as a whole, is he better than Andrew Wiggins? Yeah, okay, I guess. Wiggins is, kind of
He can
emotionless.
score.
Yeah, but exactly, Scott. Like Wiggins doesn't talk, doesn't smile. He doesn't sweat Wiggins. That's what's always fascinated me. I swear to God, guys, watch Wiggins. It'll be like the fourth quarter. Everybody will be dripping, and Wiggins will be stone cold dry, bone dry. It's not like he's not trying. I think he's just that cool. Like, I don't know what it is with him. But my point is, Scott, Wiggins is a good defensive player, bro. Wiggins has won championships. So, yeah, you lose Butler, but you're bringing in a high IQ basketball player in Andrew Wiggins who can, all right, he's not Butler, but it's not that much of a drop-off, guys. And now Tyler Hero gets to shoot. And I don't like his fashion choices, Scott, but this kid is lights out, bro. And he's got ice in his veins. And then you throw in Adebayo in the paint here and Duncan Robinson hitting threes coming off the bench, bro. I just think Miami are going to be too much for Atlanta tonight, Scott.
I will say this, on that note about Spoelstra's wife, the new show on Apple TV with John Hamm, he walks in on his wife with a former NBA player, let's just say, getting involved with his wife. His
I saw that show, Scott. I liked it. Yeah, good show. I like that.
He becomes a thief. It's great. It's great. That's a great show. His wife's tagging the NBA player.
Yeah,
I like it. I gotta watch that all day. This guy going through people's
when his buddy. It's funny when his buddy tells him, "What are you gonna do?" He's a 4-time NBA All-Star, huh? And he's like, "Yeah." He's drinking.
That's
4-time NBA All-Star stole this rich guy's wife.
All right.
He's like, "Yeah,
so
what are you gonna do?"
By the way, that guy does not look like an NBA player. He looks like a washed-up football player. Anyway, game 2, Dallas and AD and Clay going to Memphis against the grenade launcher.
I said the other night, this Memphis team I think is pretty good, but they're a street ball team. And I can't trust a street ball team, Scott, laying this type of points, right? You never know what they're going to do. Is Ja Morant going to get kicked out of the game? Is he going to get hurt in the game? Are they going to implode? Are they going to be able to inbound the ball properly? Dallas have a chip on their shoulder as well, right? They want to really... these players have been really, really picked on and criticized. Not them, the organization has, but, the players, like AD would like nothing better to get in the freaking postseason here and remind people how good he is still. So I'm going to fall for it, Scott. I feel like whatever I do in this game, it's going to be wrong. Like if I took Memphis to win, I see a 6 right now. I know it's bouncing around, but in front of me in my book, I got a 6. I feel like if I take Memphis -6, they're going to win by 5 or 4.
Right.
I believe in Dallas a little bit more getting the 6 here, Scott. But I like the Miami game better. I'm not going to lie to you. I like the Heat bet a lot better.
All right, so let's look at the very least, while we're at it, Saturday, the 4 games. Milwaukee's at Indy laying 5.5. That's at 1 o'clock. 3:30 at the Ball. Clippers in Denver. Denver laying 2.5. 6 o'clock. Pistons at the Knicks at the Garden. Knicks laying 7. And then 8:30 primetime on ABC. Lakers laying 4 to the T-Wolves. What do you think of those?
Let's start off in prime time here, Scott. This has trap written all over it, doesn't it? It's almost like they're inviting you to bet on the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm surprised the Lakers aren't bigger favorites in this game, but I think the Lakers are going to get it done on their home court. I think this is going to be a home court dominant series. I think the Lakers will win at home and the T-Wolves will win at home, and I wouldn't be surprised if this series goes 7 games. But I think the Lakers in game 1 will get it done here. The Knicks and Pistons, Scott, it's one of these classic instances, isn't it? When you get these new upstart teams that make the playoffs, they often get killed in game 1, right? It's that sort of, it's different now. Now you're in the Garden. It's the playoffs, and we've never been here before. But I don't really get that feeling with the Pistons. I don't think they're going to be fearful. I think it's just kind of another game for them. And I think this number's just a little bit high. This needs to be a statement game for the Knicks, guys. Like if you're the Knicks, you don't want to give the Pistons life, Scott, and draw this series out, right? Especially with the Knicks injury issues, right? You want to get, you want to go 7 with the Pistons? No. So you want to handle your business here. But I like the 7 in this spot, Scott. I like the Clippers to beat the Nuggets. Now, game 1, this series is going to be a toss-up, but I like the Clippers to win 4 out of 7 times, so I'll take the Clippers in this spot.
a tip for my fellow golfers and gamers. Do you want to book a golf trip to Vegas? For the best weather, aim for spring and fall. But the best prices, aim for summer and winter. But if you're looking for that sweet spot, try June. You get the August prices without that scorching heat. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
We know what Chris Sale can bring. I was personally high on Schwallenbach. Smith Shawver, their other starter, looks okay to kind of bad. They need to I don't want to say tread water, because I think that puts it in a bad light, but that's what they ultimately need to do. They need to tread water until Strider gets back, until Acuna gets back, and maybe it's just part of the team morale mentality that we're not at full strength, need to kick things into gear once those guys get here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
11 times now without a major, 14 times at the Masters. He finally has the green jacket. Rory McIlroy.
The best sporting event so far this year. It's better than the Super Bowl. It was better than the NCAA tournament. It had ups and downs. It had roller coaster rides. It had history, legacies. It had everything you could ever possibly want.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC. That is King Ty Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweights.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.
I think the Lakers just gave Pelinka a long-term deal this afternoon, Gabe, and they're just going to keep going in the right direction that they're in. They pulled off that Luka deal. It really is unbelievable. Do you think that, let's say Dallas wins tonight and then goes into the playoffs and does well? What do you see the future of Nico Harrison and the Mavericks with Davis and with Kyrie out after blowing out his knee? And Klay Thompson, who I think regrets going there. I'll never believe he made the right decision.
I don't think Klay had a ton of options, to be honest, right? So
could have gone to Lakers.
Klay concerns me tonight, actually, because he was hot in his last game. So he's sort of a hot, cold type of player. As far as Pelinka is concerned in Los Angeles, was there a more criticized general manager? Now Harrison is, but was there a more criticized general manager than Pelinka in the past? Yet I don't want to be a hypocrite because I've always defended Pelinka and said in the past, do you really think that Pelinka has control of this team? Like, dude, it's, you and I talked about it. It's a very convoluted head office, that front office. I think now, though, LeBron doesn't have the power that he used to. Just point blank, he doesn't. Like LeBron, they see it, they knew it. That's why they brought Luke in. So my whole point is, when people used to criticize the Lakers for stuff, I used to say about Pelinka, I was like, he didn't make the decision. Like Rich Paul did, LeBron did, Jeannie Buss did. He doesn't have that much power in that room. So I don't want to go overboard, but he just brought him Luka Doncic right now. So you got to give this guy credit.
It was probably a lot like when Jerry West was making decisions and no one respected him.
Yeah, I think, though, that the father did more. I think now it's more of a by a committee, Scott. We talked about it. Like, you got Jeannie Buss, you got Kurt Rambis, who advises Jeannie Buss. Then you got Rich Paul and LeBron, which is a big-time entity that, that's a lot of aura in the room right there. And then you got Pelinka. So, when you think Pelinka's going to, listen, LeBron, listen, Jeannie, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. It's a team effort. But LeBron said he didn't even know about Luka. But Luka and the Lakers and LeBron are going to be a fun team to watch, Scott. But I'm in on the Clippers, bro. I like the Clippers. I'm taking the Clippers, guys. I'm putting my name on it. The Clippers are going to win their first ever championship this year.
Wouldn't
They're
that be
winning the
great?
NBA Finals.
What about Sunday? Orlando, let's get past Denver before we start crowning them. But I like your thinking. I'm with you on that they're going to be that they're going to be really hard to beat. I think they're a really good team. I'm with you all the way. Orlando, Boston on Sunday at the Garden, and Golden State at Houston. Those games are on ABC at 3:30. The Celtic game 9:30 at night. The nightcap on TNT Sunday Eastern.
You know what I'm going to do with the Orlando game? Boston haven't played in a while. Now, you throw in on top of that, when's the last time Boston played a meaningful game? They knew they were going to be the 2 seed, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, right? It's been a while that Boston have had to dial it up, crank it up, and play for real. I know they played the Knicks late in the season. Like, they did try. I'm not saying they rolled over at the end of the year, but you're right. So I'm just stating they haven't played in a little while. You got the Orlando Magic coming in here. We know Orlando can hang their hat on defense, Scott. I think Orlando are in a lot of trouble in this series just due to the fact they're the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. So you're the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA, and you're taking on a team that's going to take like literally 65 three-point shots on you.
Right.
I don't think the math is going to add up for Orlando over the long haul, Scott. But game 1, first quarter, give me the Orlando Magic plus 4.5. Boston, a little bit rusty. We've seen in the past, Scott, Boston get off to slow starts in games, right, where it's brick city. They just bomb threes, and it's brick city. And then it starts falling like midway through the second quarter, and it's an onslaught after that. But I'm going to roll the dice that Orlando, the fresher team, the younger team, fresher team, coming in here, actually has a good first 12 minutes of basketball, Scott. So I'm going to take plus 4.5 points. It's not easy to be up by 5 in the first quarter. Like, you know what I mean? Like in an NBA game. So that's a pretty big spread for the first quarter, Scott. Give me the Magic plus 4.5. And give me the Rockets in game 1. I might live to regret it.
And Rockets in game 1. All right, Saturday at 6 p.m. on TNT, the Jets host the Blues. And then at 8:30, the nightcap, Colorado and Dallas. We know Robertson's out.
Wow, we're already getting into 5s, guys. Game 1 of the playoffs, not a 5.5. I was going to say, give me the under 5.5. We can get it, actually, though. It won't be that much on the alt line. Give me under 5.5 in the Blues and Jets. I think the Jets are going to win the game. I'm not in love with the minus 190. And let's say the Colorado Avalanche beat the Stars in game 1 at minus 135.
All right, Morency, great stuff. Have a great weekend. Have a good show tonight. Sports Rage at 10 East.
Here's a tip for my fellow golfers and gamers. Do you want to book a golf trip to Vegas? For the best weather, aim for spring and fall. But the best prices, aim for summer and winter. But if you're looking for that sweet spot, try June. You get the August prices without that scorching heat. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
We know what Chris Sale can bring. I was personally high on Schwallenbach. Smith Shawver, their other starter, looks okay to kind of bad. They need to I don't want to say tread water, so I think that puts into a bad light, but that's what they ultimately need to do. They need to tread water until Strider gets back, until Acuna gets back, and maybe it's just part of the team morale mentality that we're not at full strength, need to kick things into gear once those guys get here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
11 times now without a major, 14 times at the Masters. He finally has the green jacket. Rory McIlroy.
The best sporting event so far this year. It's better than the Super Bowl. It was better than the NCAA tournament. It had ups and downs. It had roller coaster rides. It had history, legacies. It had everything you could ever possibly want.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC, that is King Kai Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweight.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, I'm stoked for the NBA playoffs, Mike, because I think the regular season is terrible. I think the games are atrocious. I think the amount of players. When do you see how many players are suddenly healthy that never play in the regular season? Because they don't give a rat's ass about the regular season. They don't care about games. It's paycheck city. And all they want to do is play in playoff games that matter. And I'll be honest with you, the play-in tournament in November and the play-in tournament in April to get into the 7/8 are better than the entire regular season altogether. I think that play-in tournament in November actually is good ball. And then now that they're playing for something, it's really good ball. And I'm excited for whatever. 2 tonight, 4 tomorrow, 4 Sunday. Are you kidding me? Who has time for chocolates and eggs? I mean, honestly, church, somebody said to me, and I'm a horrible human being, as you know, but somebody said to me today, you're not supposed to have meat today. I'm like, okay. I go, okay. I'll have a meatball pepperoni with onions pizza at 6 o'clock. Okay, there's your don't eat meat on Good Friday, whatever that means. Oh, God, I'm going to go to hell. Oh, no. But I got to watch playoff basketball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Stanley Cup. Are you kidding me? I'll eat meat every day, Romeo.
Yeah, you get the full run over the next couple days on this Easter holiday weekend. And yes, it is Good Friday today for you. If you do.
Very religious.
Yes, if you are on that side, there you go. Heat and the Hawks will be the first game to decide the final seed in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks, of course, lost earlier this week to Orlando. The Heat got a win in Chicago. I was telling you earlier about points. The Heat have done a good job keeping the Hawks at bay. They beat them the last 2 times they played them, held them to 112 and 109. They held them to 98 in another game this year that they did actually end up losing in that one. But still, minus 1.5 for the Heat. 221.5 is the total. And how about Tyler Hero? Remember last year at the end of the season, Pat Riley said he was fragile? Remember that? Pat Riley was going after everybody on the Heat. He responded by making the All-Star team this year. He had a career high in games played, points per game, threes made, and of course he had 38 points in that elimination game the other night. Could he be the guy again tonight to get the Heat moving on into a first-round series with Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, let's just stop with all the nonsense. We're on the Heat, okay? So I don't deny Ice Tray and LeVert. I don't deny the Great Barrier Thief. I don't deny Ricochet. I think they're capable of winning this game. I really do, but I'm still on Miami based on Spo, Hero Sandwich, and Bam Adebayo. I mean, it's really all I need. And if they play defense in any capacity whatsoever, they'll win the game.
I agree. I think that they win the game tonight as well. We're on the Heat, laying it on the road in the ATL.
Wouldn't it be great if they actually did it because of what Butler did to that franchise? I think he left them naked at the altar and really screwed up the franchise. I think the whole season was a disaster because of him. Now Gabe's telling me about, I didn't even know any of that stuff about his wife and all this nonsense, and he's getting a divorce and everything else. And just, I mean, the drama on that team this year was just, it was guiding light. Like, it was just absolutely all my children. I can't keep up with all the drama. I mean, at some level, don't you just want a ball? Like, I play all the time, and I got guys that argue and everything. Can we just check in and ball? Can we just ball? Because I don't know about all this divorces, cheating, sleeping with players. guys ruining the mojo of the team and the chemistry of the team. I still, to this minute, will never forgive Butler the way he treated Pat Riley. Now, people don't like Pat Riley. You know what? He's got so many G-damn rings that and so much Gucci for me in the NBA, in the history of the NBA. Pat Riley to me is bigger than Jimmy Butler will ever be. Jimmy Butler has no rings, and he has nothing on Pat Riley. And the way he disrespected that guy to me it's just unthinkable. I can't even imagine what he's done. And if you don't like Pat Riley and you're playing for the Heat, then have a sandwich. Go leave. Go play somewhere else. I mean, respect the guy, what he's accomplished in the NBA. He's been a genius as an executive and as a player, coach, all the rest. Everything he ever did has been fantastic. And to treat him that way, to me, was disgusting. Because this guy has nothing. All he has is his big mouth. You can say whatever you want about me. Go ahead. Have at it. All I know is I got more rings than Jimmy Butler. I got 13. I got him on my toes. He's got none. He don't even have any at the Y. He don't even have one at the rec league. He's got pretty braids. Everybody loves him, but he is a team killer. I'll never stop ripping his ass. Know that. You get it every week here.
Never. No reason to ever stop ripping him for what he did down there in Miami. The late game will be the Grizzlies and the Mavericks on Beale Street. Let's check in with, we haven't had this guy, heard from this guy on the show before. This is Grizzlies interim head coach Tuomas Isalo. Now, he is not to be confused with a bad guy in a late 80s, early 90s Bruce Willis action movie. But here's Isalo, who is the interim head coach, talking about Ja Morant's status for tonight.
I said he's playing tomorrow. Did he practice today at all?
No, he did not practice today, and his game time decision, and everybody obviously hopes that he's able to go.
That is your boy, Isalo, who's got the look. He could have been one of those guys at the tower over there in Die Hard when Bruce Willis was trying to stop.
I'll tell you what, Ja's ankle is an issue because I think he's going to play at 70 or 80%, which is not Ja at 100. Let's get real here. I think this game tonight is really in the hands of Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr., and I think that Edie's going to have a double-double. They're going to all have to get involved. I think Ja will still get 20. Now, if that guy goes off for 35-40 tonight, I will keel over because I saw him the other night. He could barely run. Okay, so I'm sure he's better, 2 days later, but how much better? I mean, there is nothing worse than Rolly Massimino ankles. There's nothing worse than rolling your ankle. It doesn't get better in 2 days. I don't care how much ice you got in the ice tray.
Doesn't matter. Now, this is like I was saying to you earlier. It was 6.5 yesterday. I've seen some places at 5.5 today. So do your shopping. I see a flat 6 at another spot. So anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5 right now with the Mavs. 221.5 the total. Taking the points with the Mavs tonight.
Yeah, I think they're going to win outright. And, Nico Harrison's going to get the last laugh. Everyone, including me, has been bashing him nonstop for trading Luka Doncic. He'll never live that down. But I could see him haunting me and winning this series and going into the playoffs. And if you're in, then you could become a problem over 7 games. And they do have players. They do have size and bangability. They are big. And they are very physical. And in fact, I'll give you this. I think that game tonight, in my view, will be violent. Because I think Memphis is every bit as tough as they are. They're both really physical, tough teams. And I think it's going to be a violent game with a lot of whistles.
A lot of whistles. That could mean a lot of free throws, too. Arizona's got this to 2-1 now at Wrigley, and they have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Naylor is up here as the Cubs have gone to the bullpen. Let's see if they can take the lead and extend here at Wrigley.
fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2-catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, so we get 12-team league. There are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think he's going to do this, by the way. Why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I'd probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give him more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. Watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
You can't slow Carver High down because we're talking about Saturday's 4-pack Shakur of NBA playoff games now.
We are going to Saturday's 4-pack Shakur. 4-game ones in the NBA as we finally get to start serious playoff basketball. First game of the day will be the Pacers and the Bucks, 1 o'clock East tip in Indiana. Game 1 of this series. Now, Damian Lillard obviously is where we'll start. He was cleared yesterday, Scotty, of his deep vein thrombosis and will no longer be on blood-thinning medication. Doctors have told Bucks officials this recovery is, quote, has never been seen before, this recovery from this. So Dame time.
What a
Dame
miracle.
Time.
It's a miracle.
Now, he's not going to play game 1 here on Saturday, but it looks like he's getting a little bit closer to coming back and helping the Bucks out. Here is Doc Rivers on what he has seen from Dame time as we get
probably about 24 hours has been great. All great news. You know, we didn't go a lot live today, but he was in practice throughout practice today. You know, and now we just got to see where he's at physically. It's going to take a minute. Today he did everything. There's no limitations at all. No other than his lungs and timing and everything else.
How's he doing emotionally? This has to be a big one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this could have been career-threatening, or it was, you know, and the fact that there's a very good chance that he's going to play in the playoffs for us.
It sounds like he was going to die.
That's a godsend.
Just stop. Honest to Christ. My man doesn't sign autographs, and now he's going to die. I mean, honestly, you know what? So he's out of shape now is what you're telling me. Here's the reality of it. I don't deny that he can fill it up, and I don't deny that Giannis is a problem. I don't deny that Bobby Bug Eyes can ball, but let's face facts. The Pacers are better. They're loaded at every position. They're too deep at every position. In my opinion, they're a problem for the Bucks. I really think so. Remember last year, did they not go on a run? Did they not eliminate the Knicks? It's the same team. They're good. This is like the Phillies. It's the same team. They're good. They have all these stacked players that can ball out. Same as the Phillies. You know, they never change their team or their lineup. They don't do anything. They add a couple pitchers. That's it, because they're loaded. I mean, you look at these teams around the NFL that are good. The Bills, they're stacked, they're loaded, they got every position covered. They get a couple guys to back them up, and they go lock and load and do it again. That's what the Pacers are. The Bucks had one run. And what have they done since? Fired coaches. They've never mattered since they won that title. To the point of, we've heard about Giannis moving. We even heard the pathetic rumor that he was coming to the Nets, for Christ's sakes. Give me the Pacers.
Yeah, Pacers in game one are minus 5.5 with the total 224.5. I do think the Pacers will win the series as well. And I like them laying the 5.5 in game number one. I think they'll take care of business at home on Saturday.
I mean, it's a lot of points to me against a guy like Giannis who can score 40 points. So that's a problem for me. I like him in the series. Game one, I would say yes, but tentatively. I think there's better offerings out there.
Yes, I think there's some better offerings out there as well. Second game of the day on Saturday, we will go out to Denver. Clippers and the Nuggets. Game number one should be a great series. We'll start with Nuggets interim head coach. We got a lot of interim head coaches around. David Adelman. Remember when he got the job to finish out the year, he said he had to bring the Nuggets back together. And he feels that over the short period of 3 games, he has already done that.
I wouldn't say that. I would say just with the overall season and how the ups and downs we've had, I think we're trending in the right direction in a big way. And that needed to happen for us to have a chance to compete. I think I said it last week. If you're not connected right now, you'll be done quick. And it was really good to see the guys get those 3 games, not only to win them, earn the 4 seed, but to reconnect a little bit. And that's hard when you're going through what we were going through in the change. But just the overall attitude today was really good. And I think they realize the second season is here.
I think what's going to happen is that Zubac is going to force Jokic back out to the perimeter where he likes to jack threes. Fair enough. But I'd rather have him out there jacking threes than inside making those easy mini hooks. I think the Clippers are going to pose problems for them. I like the Clippers in the series. I think the Clippers are going to give them problems even in Denver.
As far as game one goes, Denver minus 2.5 on Saturday afternoon. 224.5 is the total for this one.
I'll take the Clippers, and I think that Denver will win game 2, and then I think the Clippers are going to go home and beat their ass twice.
Yeah, you know, when we did this a couple days ago, the Clippers, the Nuggets were small favorites for the series. Clippers are now favored. It's moved to Clippers for the series minus 118, even money for Denver. So we've had some gas going in the Clipper direction, and we've said this all week. We think, I think the Clippers are going to beat Denver.
Listen, I think
they will get them.
I think Gordon's a problem. I really do, and I think Murray is a guy that shows up for the playoffs. And I think that suddenly all of his maladies will go away. It's like you hear all the time Stan Van Gundy says, give them a basketball, and suddenly they don't have any injuries at all. Everybody's healthy when they have the ball in their hands. I think Murray's the perfect example of that. But here's my thing. I'm certain of it. No one on that team can stop Harden or Kawhi Leonard. No one. And I think Zubac is going to give Joker problems because he can do whatever he wants inside as well. So he's not afraid of playing him. I think Joker's incredible. I think he's unbelievable, undeniable, triple-doubles left and right. Zubac is a double-double machine. He's coming to play, and they're coming to play. And Powell and Jones, and it never ends with the Clippers. I think it does end with the Nuggets at 5 at Brown. It ends right there.
We will come back, and we will get into the other 2 games on Saturday, including the Pistons visiting the Garden. Game 1 with the Knicks.
They're going to give the Knicks problems.
Fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You gonna buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2 catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, so we get 12-team league. There are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. No. Should he get a point? I think he's going to do this, by the way. Why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I'd probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give him more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. Watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa. It's a shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Are you kidding me? You've got the big bodega on C2C?
That's right. A little big bodega. Karl Anthony Towns getting ready for his first playoff game as a member of the New York Knicks. Can't wait to hear that Garden crowd for the first time in his career in the playoffs.
It's special. Obviously for me, I've never had a playoff series in the Garden, so being able to watch it on TV growing up and to see the crowd, just let alone on a regular season game, they're special. So I can only imagine it's on another level in the playoffs. So it's our job to, bring our best foot forward and do the best we can in front of our fans. And, obviously they want to see wins as much as we do. So we're all in this together with the fans. So we're just going to go out there and do our best.
Well, the problem I have is that this guy, Cade Cunningham, has torn them to shreds every time he plays them this year. He won 3 of the 4 games. He averaged over 31 points in those games. He's been unstoppable. They're a violent physical team that's going to show up young, determined. Obviously, they've changed so much. Having Hardaway's helped them. And I think that, they have guys that know, I think Malik Beasley, they got guys that can flat out play. And no one on the Knicks has been able to figure out Cunningham at all in all 4 games. So I can't even fathom this number's at 7, to be honest with you, when I saw it, because first of all, I said this yesterday, look, they got a better record, fine. And that means, allegedly the Knicks beat teams that they're better than. They don't beat anybody that's better than them. So if you have a better record, Cavs, Celtics, Thunder, they can't beat any of those teams. But they beat teams that they have a better record than, except they don't beat the Pistons. What is it about the Pistons that gets under their skin? I don't see how you can give them 7 in this game. I really don't. Now, I think the Knicks, the number in this series at 4.5, whatever it is, it's like 430, whatever it is. It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. It's like it's spitting in the face of what Detroit has accomplished this year and Bickerstaff, that they get zero respect, that the series is already over before it starts. They couldn't be further from the truth. I think this is going to be an absolute war and it's going to get real physical and testy. And the refs are going to be a part of this series as well. Guaranteed. And believe me, I watched every game they play. I've watched all those Piston games. The Pistons give them problems. They don't have a better record, but they certainly have a better performance against the Knicks than just about any team in the East, except the Celtics and Cavs. The third best team against the Knicks has been the Pistons. I mean, let's just get real here. You either ball or you don't. You know what you're doing. You watch this team. They give them nightmares.
I think it's way too much gas. 7's too much. I think the series price is ridiculous. I think the Knicks are going to win the series, but I think they're going to have a real hard fight on their hands with the Pistons throughout this entire thing, and that includes with the Pistons getting this 7 here.
I'll bet it goes to overtime. Game one.
Hey, you get a good number for that.
It's a game in the
that's
day.
for sure. Very well could be. Flat 7 right now and a 220.5. I'll take those points with the Pistons at the Garden in game number 1. And I think they'll get a couple games off the Knicks here in the first round in this series. The nightcap is, of course, in Los Angeles at the Crypto. T-Wolves and the Lakers will start their series. Game 1 has the Lakers at -4.5. 216.5 the total in this game for game number 1.
Yeah, I just think that, I got it at 4, and I think Luka Doncic in Lipstick City at the Crypt in a game 1 for the Lakers in the yellow, showtime, baby, with LeBron, with Reeves. They'll get it done in Lipstick City in game 1. I think the T-Wolves will answer them in game 2 and then go back to Minneapolis to the Target. And I think that's where the Lakers are going to find themselves in a series. I think it'll come out game 1. Lakers will do their thing. Everyone will think it's over. And then suddenly they'll get sucker punched right in the mouth.
Yeah, I like the Lakers for the series, but I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I think the Timberwolves are going to push them. I think it's going to go 7 games, but I like the Lakers in game 1 with you.
Here's a tip for my fellow golfers and gamers. Do you want to book a golf trip to Vegas? For the best weather, aim for spring and fall. But the best prices, aim for summer and winter. But if you're looking for that sweet spot, try June. You get the August prices without that scorching heat. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
We know what Chris Sale can bring. I was personally high on Schwallenbach. Smith Shawver, their other starter, looks okay to kind of bad. They need to I don't want to say tread water, so I think that puts it in a bad light, but that's what they ultimately need to do. They need to tread water until Strider gets back, until Acuna gets back, and maybe it's just part of the team morale mentality that we're not at full strength, need to kick things into gear once those guys get here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm still optimistic eventually this will happen and they'll get it together. I mean, if Florida can get their act together, Sam, with the Tribes, I believe that California can too.
It would bring a lot of money to the Tribes, which is also something they really care about. It's an $8 billion market. Conservatively, it could be even more when it legalizes. The sports books would be sharing revenue with the Tribes, essentially doing all their operations and forking over a percentage directly to the Tribes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC, that is King Kai Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweight.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.